Venus is the hell of the solar system, and humans should go there as soon as possible. I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't Venus kill you in seconds? It would. You'd roast in 460-degree heat, nearly twice as hot as an average oven. But you wouldn't even make it to the ground. The atmosphere is 90 times thicker here, so it's less like walking on a surface and more like swimming at the bottom of an ocean. The pressure is so high here that both you and your spaceship would be crushed well before you hit the ground. Sounds bleak, but we didn't always know it was such a death trap. Venus is totally covered in cloud. To the human eye, it's featureless, so its surface was open to interpretation. In the early 20th century, many thought Venus was a paradise planet with tropical forests and even potentially roaming animals. This influenced science fiction, but also gave Venus a scientific allure, a place worth visiting. So, space agencies did. But when NASA's Mariner 2 visited in 1962, any dreams of a paradise planet were shattered. The place is bone dry, with an atmosphere almost completely comprised of carbon dioxide. This is a greenhouse effect turned planetary furnace, boiling off any chance of habitability. And yet, the missions kept coming. The Soviet Union was particularly committed to Venus, sending an entire family of missions under the name Venera. 28 launched. Venera 3 was the first to land. Hard. It crashed. 5 and 6 focused on the atmosphere, each sending under an hour of data before they failed. On and on it went, until Venera 9, which captured our first ever photos of the planet's surface. Colour was added in Venera's 13 and 14, showcasing a flat, rocky and punishing surface. But then interest waned, with no purpose-built missions launched between 1989 and 2005. Mars clearly was the preferred candidate for exploration, both robotic and crewed. Inhospitable for sure, but brimming with potential. And yet, Venus may be the better pick. To learn why, we shouldn't look at the surface, but instead in the clouds, 50 kilometers up to be exact. Up here, the temperature is merely balmy, about 75 degrees Celsius. The atmospheric pressure is more favourable too, virtually the same as on Earth's surface. And then there's the gravity, much closer to Earth than Mars. In fact, the conditions were so promising that NASA and a team of university researchers hashed out an entire mission concept, HAVOC. HAVOC relies on airships inflated at the destination to sail among the clouds. Robots would go first, followed by a 30-day and year-long crewed missions. There would be plenty for astronauts to learn here, dropping probes and balloons to study the planet's atmosphere and search its clouds for complex molecules and even life. There are other benefits of going here over Mars. For one, astronauts would be well protected from radiation in the clouds, and there would be little need for spacesuits. This is just a concept, but in reality, we don't even have to choose between the two planets. Astronauts could swing past Venus on the way to Mars. This two-planet trip would actually be quicker and cheaper than flying direct, allowing astronauts to use Venus's immense gravity to swing them towards the red planet. This kind of manoeuvre would also allow crews to abort to Earth if something goes wrong. After all, we're talking about going interplanetary for the first time. In fact, an early Venus-only mission would be a perfect dress rehearsal on the way to Mars, completed in about a year. This is all decades away, but space agencies are getting excited about Venus once more. Take Veritas, an orbiter designed to search for active volcanoes and map the planet's surface with radar. Even more exciting is Da Vinci, which includes a descent probe to investigate the planet's lower atmosphere. This would be our first descent to Venus since 1984, meaning radically improved technology to tell us everything we need to know about atmospheric gases. As the probe plunges closer to the surface, we'll learn about the history of water on the planet and whether those warm clouds could be hospitable to life. The findings from these missions will help us understand why our planets are so different, offering a window into the solar system's past and its future. And those discoveries can be extrapolated to other planets, distant ones, orbiting faraway stars. Ultimately, it's not a race between these two planets. Mars holds us captive with its desolate surface, one that we could touch and feel with our hands. People want to go there. Geologists, engineers, an entirely new breed of astronaut. But I humbly request that you take a moment to consider our nearest neighbour in substance and in size, and maybe even history. You might want to be the first to touch Martian soil, but imagine for a moment being the first person in history to see another planet right there in front of you. A shining jewel in the black, hiding its mysteries but offering so much in its heart. Venus is worthy of your attention, and if you want to do Mars right, you should swing by here first.